What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, in this video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. This isn't a review, but I'm going to show you guys 3 different weapons that are maybe a little bit under the radar. You've probably heard of them, you may have a few of them, and maybe you just don't know if they're any good. But we're going to look at 3 of them, compare them side by side, and sort of pick which one of the 3 I would recommend in the Crucible. First up is this red Spectre. The red Spectre has a decent rate of fire at 88, impact is down at 8. So this is, it's not a doctrine, but it's also not as low as something like a Grim Citizen or a Shadow Price, right? So it's in between those two. So it has a decent rate of fire, and I like this one in particular because it comes with Battle Runner. I know Exhumed is awful, but Battle Runner is actually one of my favorite under the radar perks, and it also has really high stability with the role that I have. So I can run and gun a little bit with it, and it can keep up with the pace of the game pretty consistently because of its decent rate of fire. So I can land my shots pretty easily with this gun because of the stability factor. If you don't have a good stability roll on it, I think you'd probably pass on it. But this particular Red Spectre, I like it. Next up, this is the Treads on Stars, okay? Treads upon Stars. This is a scout rifle. Where does it come from? You can get this from any Cabal strike, okay? Any Cabal strike. Now, it has a rate of fire of 37. That's a little bit slower than Mida, but its impact is just a little bit higher than the Mida multi-tool. So everyone knows what the Mida is. They're probably really familiar with it, so easy to compare it to that particular scout rifle. Now, this one came with crowd control. It also came with Grenadier, so I'm cooling down my grenades more quickly, and it also came with high caliber rounds, so it's staggering people a little bit more. So it's a little bit better at counter sniping in that regard, but quite honestly, high caliber rounds does it's a little bit underwhelming. It doesn't do as much staggering as I would have hoped it would do on people hard scoping. You can still get domed pretty consistently while putting shots into somebody with this thing. So I like this scout rifle. I don't love it. I've used it in PvP, and I think my biggest complaint about it is that, yeah, it can drop people, and you can have really good games with the Treads Upon Stars. It's not a bad scout, but where it struggles is that it's hard for this gun to keep up with the pace of the Crucible, okay? Now, I know this isn't Call of Duty, it's not insta-kills, but Crucible right now is decently fast-paced with a lot of the primaries that are out there, and this one just has a hard time keeping up, quite frankly. So I went on some nice kill streaks with it, and I did enjoy using the gun. It's nice to use different things, but I don't know how I feel about making it a consistent part of my loadout in the Crucible. I think that I would probably pass. I think that I would like this weapon better if I had a higher stability roll on mine, and I've never had one of these drop with a good stability. And the problem there is that sometimes the recoil, it pulls my reticle up a little bit higher than I want it to be, so it takes more time to correct the recoil and bring it back down. When you get used to it, you can do okay, but at these longer range engagements, I found myself consistently getting outgunned, as you see there, by the Mida multi-tool. So if I paced my shots and I took my time, and the other guys, maybe I got the first shot in and they had to play catch up, then I was usually winning my engagements. But a lot of times if I just squared up and went toe to toe with a Mida multi-tool or a sniper, I was usually on the losing end of that battle. You see, even Grasp of Malik at range outperforming it. Next up is the Grim Citizen, and this is a sort of lower on the rate of fire scale, higher in the impact department auto rifle. Now, where can you get it? You can get the Grim Citizen from Crucible rep packages when you turn them into Lord Shacks, and I've had a few of these drop. This one particularly, this one came with hip fire accuracy and glass half full, which on paper I looked at and I thought, hey, this could be a decent AR. I'm gonna give this a shot. Honestly, I'm pretty underwhelmed. I'm pretty underwhelmed with this weapon. I wish that the impact was higher to make up for the slow rate of fire, because as it stands, the low rate of fire on this gun even though it has a little bit higher impact than something like an Arminius or something like even the Red Spectre. It's slower firing than the Red Spectre. The impact just doesn't make up for it, so I found myself often getting lots of assists because I couldn't finish my kills. Now I will say that it's very user friendly and easy to control, but it's not got a lot of killing power. In scenarios like this where that he's not shooting at me, he's moving in a straight line, sure, it'll shred him, it'll kill the guy. And this guy's got no shields, I can dump some headshots in him. What does it have going for it? It's got decent stability, and that's honestly about it. So of these three, where would I land? What would my recommendation be? I would honestly say of these three weapons, your best bet in the Crucible is the Red Spectre. Now, like I said, this isn't something that I would consistently use as my go-to primary weapon, but for a little bit of a change of pace, this isn't a bad gun to roll with, depending on the rolls that you get. If you get decent stability on it, and I have to admit, I really enjoy having Battle Runner on this AR. It makes it so that I can run and gun a little bit more effectively, and actually I was pairing it with a sidearm that also had Battle Runner on it, so I was getting kills and then quickly getting out of sticky situations. I wish that the Battle Runner perk stayed active a little bit longer, maybe an extra 2 to 3 seconds. But that's just me. I think it's a really under the radar perk, and because of that, that's one of the reasons I kind of like it. But I wish it was a little bit more effective than it already is. Maybe buff the time on it. That would be the only thing I'd change about that perk. But the Red Spectre that I have, I like it. And I'll probably continue to use it a little bit. It's a lot of fun and it's a good change of pace. And where can you get this weapon? You can get the Red Spectre as a random drop at the end of Crucible matches. So it's just kind of a luck of the draw kind of a thing. And the reason why I land on the Red Spectre out of these three primary legendary weapons is because it's a little bit better suited to keep up with the current pace of the Crucible. So, if you have any of these weapons, I'd be interested to know what your rolls are, and if you would agree with my assessment. If you've got all three of these, what do you think is the best all-around primary for the Crucible? I land on the Red Spectre, better equipped to keep up with those pesky last words and high rate of fire ARs, and that's my opinion. Hopefully you enjoyed the gameplay, guys, and I'll catch you in the Crucible.